I mean, I would say it was one of the top movie making experiences of my life, and it will probably remain that to the end of my career, just because it was just something you couldn't plan for, but there was a lot of, there was just a lot of special within it.
Hi there everyone and welcome to Den of Horror. In case this is the first time that you are joining me, what you're about to see is the fourth part of a fascinating conversation I recently had with one of Hollywood's most prominent makeup and prosthetic designers, Sarah Rubano. Sarah is not only a very talented and vastly experienced person, but I also found her to be a very generous guest. In previous episodes, she shared a little bit about what it was like heading up the makeup and prosthetic departments on two of James Cameron's mega movies, Avatar: The Way of Water, as well as the upcoming sequel. She also collaborated with Ty West on his super cool horror movie X, the prequel Pearl, and the upcoming third part of the series Maxine. Sarah also gives us a touching insight into her close collaboration and friendship with the actress Mia Goth. Today, things stay just as interesting. Having worked extensively with the two filmmakers Neil Blomkamp and Ty West, Sarah finds herself in the unique position of being able to compare the creative process behind two of cinema's most exciting filmmakers. I hope you enjoy. Gaze into the abyss. You worked on District 9 with Neil Blomkamp and you worked on X with Ty West. I mean, both of these movies were also, in a sense, the movies that put both of these guys, these amazing directors, on the map. And you were involved. You had such a big role in both of those movies. I don't want to actually say what is the difference between the two directors, but for you as a professional and a makeup designer, what is that experience working with someone like Neil Blomkamp, who's like you mentioned earlier, a genius in his own way, and then you also have Ty West, who's definitely a genius in his own way, vastly different directors, but both with such strong visual styles. What's it like working with these two directors while they develop their stories?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I feel privileged to have and fortunate to have worked with both of them. And, with Neil, part of to be there, to get in there on the ground floor with him was awesome. And now to be working with Ty as he's, continuing to expand and explode on the scene. But it's interesting because, they both have their own distinctive styles for sure, like their visual styles and their presentation. But there are a lot of similarities between the two of them. And one big thing is that they both love makeup effects. They love makeup and makeup effects. They're huge fans of makeup and makeup effects. So they lean into the process. They get excited about what we can do practically, how we can achieve this practically. They're like, you know what, we'll lean on VFX when we need to, but hopefully we won't. And how do we just make this awesome, like practically? And that's fucking cool, especially for a makeup effects lady. And so that is a huge similarity between the two of them. And so that gives me opportunity to just like be super colorful in the play box, right? But they both lean into the whole process of like developing a character. They are always, they're both involved in like 2D concept and then into manufacture and then into delivery and seeing it through on set. So, I mean, there's similarity there as well. Like they're very involved and they care. And they're both passionate. They're both specific about their direction. They're very concise in how they want things done. But then they are both also very, once I got a flow with both of them and there was trust there, they're both, just super respectful and both directors that I love to work with. So I would say, and they're both young guys, younger fellas. They're not old codgers. So, lots of similarities actually, which is probably why, I've worked with both of them multiple times because, the relationship, the process between me and them resonates and is productive.
Awesome. District 9 is obviously shot in South Africa, mainly in the Johannesburg area. And I don't know, not a lot of people have commented on this. I personally haven't heard anyone comment on this, but I think that District 9, part of why it had such a distinctive look, at least to some degree, was because of its setting, because it was shot in Johannesburg, which is this unique place. What was it like? What was it like for you shooting in Johannesburg? And did the settings around you talked about working in the townships, which also has a very distinctive kind of look. Did it influence your work and what you did with Sholto and on District 9 in general?
Yeah, I think, District 9 was, it was a magical project for both myself and my husband, Joe Dunkley, who we were a team on that. We Weta Workshop sent us out as a team. I was handling the makeup effects aspect, and he was also handling makeup effects, but also, specialty props and specialty weapons and various things, alien eggs, etc. So we went out as a team, and we were brought in the 11th hour, which was pretty scary. And we basically received kit over in Johannesburg that we had never laid eyes on. And so it was all exciting and scary. And though it was just magical because it felt like everybody that was there, was super up for the challenge and super excited to be there. It was our first time working in South Africa, and we just absolutely loved working with the South African crew because they were very, they cared a lot, and they were very present. They were very passionate. My crew was very supportive. And certainly, being in those settings influenced like the overall feel, and it was just an unfolding of magic every day. Charlotte, working with him day in, day out, he was so invested. He was so, respectful of our process, and we had fun doing it. It was just one of those magical projects where you just come out of it and you're like, I would say it was one of the top movie making experiences of my life, and it will probably remain that to the end of my career, just because it was just something you couldn't plan for, but there was a lot of, there was just a lot of special within it. And then, as we were shooting it, we were like, what are we shooting? It was hard to really understand, even though we had read the script, it was hard to understand where it was going to go, because like I said earlier, there was a lot of improv that was mingled like within, our shooting days. And so, yeah, but in the end, when we watched it, we were like, holy cow, that's amazing film. Like, we did that. How did we do that?
That's about it for today, folks, but be sure to join us for the next part of this fascinating conversation, where Sarah will tell us a little bit about what it takes to make it in the movie industry, whether or not she's been starstruck, and she'll also share with us what are some of the movies that she is most proud to have worked on. So if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel, share and like this episode, and most importantly, pull up a chair and join in the conversation next time. Have a great week, everyone.
Gaze into the abyss.